Foxy music. Foxy music.
Good evening, good evening. Another super rainy day here in UK, and trying to lighten up the atmosphere with some easy painting on fondant, because that's what we did today. We've been working with fondant, so I thought it would be nice to actually see how easy it is to paint on the fondant with just basic gel colors, the colors you normally use to color your fondant. So let's crack on, as it's going to take pretty much sure more than 5 minutes. So let's crack on. So we'll be doing some basic painting based on watercolors. In fact, not even paint colors, just gel colors. That just normally the usual gel colors you use for coloring your fondant or for doing anything. So I've got here the PME and the Wilton. So whatever gel colors you've got available, that will be fine for this project. I've got a bit of a water in here in case that I have to dilute some, and I put a cling film and spread some of my green, pink, yellow, and a teal, which I had on the side. So I've got here some brushes. I'm going to start with the green. Going to moist the brush and make sure that I get some of my gel. And then from the base, I've rolled out a piece of fondant and just trim it freehand. But you can obviously get side cutter and maybe just cut like a strip if you want to. But just freehand will also do. I prefer to paint on here for demonstration purposes, but also because, say, if you've got a cake which sits in the fridge and you want to apply this in the last minute, you might want to avoid the condensation, so you might want to do it on a piece of fondant and apply that onto the cake. If you do it straight onto a real cake which has to sit in the fridge, I will suggest you to use either fat base or ethanol, alcohol based colors, rather than water based colors. But for just like touch-ups like we will do now throughout the demonstration, those gel colors will be just fine. I'm kind of worried to suggest paint the real cakes with watercolors, because if they will have to, the painting will have to face the condensation, the colors will start dripping. Okay, so just from the base of the strip up to the top, I'm going to kind of mimic some greenery like grass. So just trying to create some shapes. I don't want to kind of put lines, straight lines, because there is no grass to kind of be stiff like a stick. So just random curved lines to replicate the foliage. You can put darker shades or lighter shades in between and try to point. The reason why I'm not starting from the top, I'm starting from the bottom, because if I just keep stretching the paint up, the tip will turn up more pointy. Okay, again, just dipping the brush from time to time in my green. If I feel that it doesn't look right, I can go over, just keep adding spots of color. And then once I think I've got enough of that kind of green, I can put some of the green on the side and add some of my pink. That's going to give me more like a brownie, a darkish kind of color. So I can add that in here and just give a bit more contrast. Okay. You can also use thinner brush if you've got, but I don't have any kind of handy. And you can also just dab the brush and fill in the gaps if you want to. Okay, now that I've got the greenery already in place, I can start piping some flowers. Now, if I want to highlight some of my, say for example, stems, now obviously if I will use a toothpick, they will turn up quite kind of stiff. But what I can do, I can get a piece of wire, and then I can just bend that wire and apply some of the color in on the wire. Okay, and I can put some touch-ups now here and there in whatever direction I want that to get. And obviously it's going to be slimmer as depending on the thickness of the wire. Okay. So I've got some stems here which I can use for my taller flowers. I'm going to leave this brush on the side for now and going to get another brush for my pink color. And what I'm going to do with this pink, I will start creating more like pom-pom flowers. Yeah, because it is a brush which has the hairs quite spreaded. Because it was washed for so many times, it doesn't look so nice. So, but that's great for just doing some pom-pom flowers. It's going to get closer to the camera. Then I've got another brush which I'm going to use to put some with the same color for now. Going to put some spikes, so just going to get a center, and from that center I'm just going to kind of highlight some pointy petals. I have to add a little bit of water. Just make sure that I don't have too much of that water. Okay, again, straight and curved so they don't look super stiff, and that can work on the same way. Okay, and I'm going to get the other brush with some yellow. As you can see, the brushes are kind of different. Some of them are elongated and very thin. Some others are fluffier and thicker. And I'm just going to create some dotty flowers, starting with wide base, going up to a thin tip, and again just going on the other side, something similar. Now with the water-based colors, you have to be very careful because they don't cover the colors underneath that well, so you might have to give the painting a bit of time to dry, and then in those areas, for example, I can see the green coming through, I can paint with a bit of white and then paint with yellow after, so that involves drying time. So but if it's something super basic, then there is no need for too much of a hassle, because I just want some spots of colors in here, and I can also just add some pink here and there. Then I'm going to clean this brush and just look at the tail and see how I can create some little flowers with this tail, just getting some tiny petals. Yeah, so literally just pushing the brush to highlight the petals. Same in here. And just going to pick one in here as well. Okay, and then right in the center, Again, just cleaning the brush. I think I'm going to clean this brush. It looks more pointy. Just to, again, dry the brush, get some yellow, and put the yellow in the center of my teal flower. If I really want to see that yellow, I have to wait for the flowers to dry before attaching the adding the yellow. Okay, and what else I can make some round flowers, just random flowers. I'm going to put a touch of see, I've got yellow and green. I'm going to get to my other brush, clean it, and get some pink, and I'm going to start describing some circles, and I'm going to do another one in here as everything super busy for now. And up, just going to highlight with some yellow, and then finish off by adding a stem. There is no stem in here. Okay, good. So I think that will just give you an idea about what you can create by just using some gel colors. And then I'm going to get this strip and get a sample cake on the side, which is actually a dummy cake, but can replicate very easy a real cake. Just going to put some tracks, and I will do the same on a real cake. And I will just get the strip and set it like a ribbon. On the cake. Oh, got my daisies in here. And yeah, that's my flowery painted cake. So I hope you've enjoyed the demo, even if it was a little bit longer. It gave you kind of inspiration to do some painting. As you can see, where is the camera? It looks really cute. So even if you come up with just a painted ribbon, you can soften the colors. They don't have to be that vibrant. I use vibrant colors just because it's on the camera, so you have to see better what happens in there. I think it's a great way to not just enjoy your time, but get a beautiful decorated cake. So I hope you've enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow evening for a new demo. Thank you very much for joining me. Bye bye.